Whereas in the Vegas, they were the tall whites, which are very famous with Charles Hall. A lot of people aren't aware of Area 54, and that's right here in North Las Vegas as well, but on the other side. So just bottom of Nevada is kind of like this. Vegas is at the bottom. You go up one way to Rachel, Nevada, and that's the closest you can get to Area 51. But Area 54 is out by Indian Springs, and there you can drive on BLM land. And I did this with some friends some years ago, and we just did a skywatch. We saw a lot of military activity, but no mothership coming down with supplies for the tall whites, which are said to live in a legacy underground base there. And that could be the reason why the Nellis Air Force Range is where it is, because they picked a predetermined location where they already knew there was an underground alien base. But these tall whites are really peculiar. Not only are they bipedal and taller than humans are, and their eyes are much bigger, but they can pretty much get away with walking in public. And the story is sometimes they do, that they're very fascinated with Earth culture, and they'll put on their big glasses and a fedora hat, and they kind of walk really slowly because the gravity is different from their home planet. And they'll go into casinos and they'll just kind of walk around and stuff. So when they do decide to go out, the NSA, no such agency, which wasn't admitted to until the 1980s, but they are tasked with everything to do with extraterrestrials. And I'm sure they don't like it when these tall whites want to go for a little walkabout in Las Vegas Strip, but they have to go along with them. And at one time, they were going up some steps, and they have a very clear policy: you do not ever touch us. And they even they carry one of those beams with them for self-protection. And so one of the older ones was kind of stumbling up a step, and an NSA agent just kind of grabbed his elbow to give him some support, and they were pissed. And they hit the guy with one of the beams, not to kill him, but to stun him. And he fell down himself. And lesson learned, don't touch the tall whites. But Charles Hall, who I've met at conferences too, he has never changed in his story. So as a young man, he was stationed out there near Indian Wells, and he then encountered the tall whites, and he says even befriended them and was able to have a telepathic communication and learn some about them. And they've been here on Earth. This is one of their outposts, and the military gives them protection within this Nellis base, and its designation is Area 54. And it's not too far away. It's just, but on the other side of the southern Nellis base, which is run, the command center for Nellis in Nevada is actually Edwards Air Force Base in Southern California in the Mojave Desert. And there's another place too that is just totally filled with paranormal weirdness. And of course, they're all interconnected with this underground network of train tubes and underground bases as well.
Do you want to help support Beyond Forbidden and receive extra content that's not seen anywhere else? By becoming a patron, a few things you will receive are the full-length 90-minute or 120-minute podcast episode. Members will also receive a private link of the video podcast and will only be exclusive to Patreon members. In-person, face-to-face interviews with some of the most well-known, respected researchers. Behind-the-scenes footage of interviews not seen anywhere else. And that's just a few perks. So what do you have to lose? Cut out one brain-rotting, overly processed Happy Meal a month that doesn't do anything beneficial for your mind, body, and spirit, and become a Patreon for just $5.